Welcome to the Indie Horror Junkie podcast. Tonight, you will be joining Rotting Ricky and Asylum Amy as they play host to some of the true movers and shakers in the indie horror scene. So lock your doors, check under the bed, and get comfortable, because here we go.
And I'm Sylvia Saska, and we're the Saska Sisters, and this is Indie Horror Junkie! Indie Horror Junkie! Indie Horror Junkie!
Hello, junkies and junkier there. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We are going to be sans Amy today. She had a little family business she had to take care of at the last moment. So, we're thoughts and prayers are out to her, but everything should be okay. She should be joining us next week, but she needed to take some time. So you're going to be stuck with Lance and I one more week, but yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah, so, I know everybody's missing Amy's face at this point, so they're probably tired of seeing me.
Yeah, but we'll have some fun with it, and we got a really good guest we're very excited to get to today. So we're going to try to read through some of this housekeeping here real quick to kind of give you the idea of what we've got coming up and what's going on, and then we'll go ahead and get ready to bring him on. All right, first and foremost, we've got the clock. Absolutely. This is my first feature film here with Indie Horror Junkie. The movie right now is currently out on streaming pretty much everywhere. I got to update this ad here because it's not coming soon to Roku as it is already on Roku. So definitely check it out. Great little movie with Halloween coming up. I want you to check it out. Give us some feedback. We put a lot into it. We had a very short schedule, but I think it was we got the most out of what we had for that particular film. So hopefully you guys
definitely.
Next up, we have Reels of the Dead, Volume 1, The Theater. Now, very excited about this one as Amy and I are working hand in hand on this one. This is our first real feature film that we're working together. It's an anthology film where it's going to have a wraparound story that is going to star Amy and myself. And then we're going to bring in 3 short films to make it a feature film. And we're very, very excited about this one. We film early 2026, and it'll be premiering probably somewhere in the mid to late 2026 and then hitting the festival circuit. So we're really excited about that. Keep an eye on everything that we're going to be putting out here shortly as things get announced for Reels of the Dead. Next up, we want to talk about Tarot Cards. Tarot Cards is one of our big sponsors. This is a great, do you want to tell me a little bit about Tarot Cards there, Lance?
Yeah, Tarot Cards is a great app. Basically, it's a trading card app with characters from horror movies, indie horror films. They've got the clock on there. They've got the Forest Through the Trees from Jason Pitts. They've got Graveyard Shark. They just did that a couple weeks ago. That's a really fun movie to watch. Kind of exciting to see them on Tarot Cards. So that's pretty cool. So sell, trade, buy, download the app for free and play with your friends. Trade them. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a neat concept.
It really is, and it's like you said, it's a free app to download, and you get to trade cards, and it's a really cool concept. But definitely check it out; it's free to download, and I think you'll really enjoy it.
I think I see Disremembered there as well from Acrostar. That's a good movie.
Nice. Next up, we have the Nightmare Collection. This is another anthology series that I started prior to Indie Horror Junkie that we just had our final 3rd volume. So we've got Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. It's got a wraparound story basically geared around our character Necro Nancy, and she introduces short horror films. And the last one has Amy in it, and it's a lot of fun. We have The Turning is on Volume 3 as well that we did our shorts. All 3 of them, like I said, are now available on DVD. You can pick one or all 3 of them up at the indiehorrorjunkie.com website, so definitely check it out. We have, next up, our magazine. This is the current issue. issue number 19 with the wonderful Eileen Dietz on the cover, and you can see the side picture there of all the other articles that we've got involved in the magazine. This magazine is available in digital format or print format. You can get either of them or both of them at indiehorrorjunkie.com. This is currently issue number 19 that's available as we speak. We have issue number 20 that actually goes out on November 13th, and we will have the big cover reveal on November 1st, as we always do, to show you what's going to be on the cover and also some of the articles that are going to be involved. And then lastly, we have the Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest. This is our
absolutely
wonderful event that we have so much fun at. Lance will be out there. I'll be out there. Amy will be out there. And 250,000 of our closest friends and family will be out there at MegaCon Orlando in March. And right now, submissions are still open. So if you've got a short or a feature you would like to see submitted and play in front of the multitude of people that we have go out there, definitely try and get it into us. You can go to the link at indiehorrorjunkie.com where you can find the link, or you can go ahead and go directly to filmfreeway.com/Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest and submit your film to us now. All right. Well, I think we've wasted enough time. Did
you want to touch on
oh, that's right. Yes,
They're Here?
There is one more thing. Thank you, Lance, for mentioning that. Yes. I have a little short film because, like I was talking to Lance about, I don't sleep, and I have to continue to make products.
He's not lying. When my phone goes off at 3 a.m, I'm almost guaranteed it's Rick.
That's right. That's right. I try to keep everybody. If I'm going to be awake, I want everybody else to be awake.
Right.
So I decided to put together a little short film that I'm doing as kind of a side project through my Enigma Films project, and it's called They're Here. It's a supernatural short film. We film in December of this year, and it'll be available at the beginning of next year. Very excited about it. It's just going to be a little 10-minute short film, but it's a concept that I've had for quite a while, and a storyline that I'm really excited about. So I'm going to do that before we jump into pre-production for Reels of the Dead, which is going to be all-encompassing. And if everything goes, I haven't told this to Amy yet, but just maybe They're Here might be considered for Reels of the Dead. We'll just keep that between us for right now, but we'll see where that goes.
I don't know nothing.
There you go. Thank you. And it's not like anybody's watching, right? So we're okay. All right, let's get to our guest. We've got Doug Roos here. We're very, very excited to interview him.
This is going to be fun.
Tell us a little bit about what we're going to be showing here, Lance.
So this is it's called Bakemono from Doug Roos, filmed in Japan. I've had the pleasure of watching this film. Rick hasn't seen it yet, but this thing is absolutely. I was completely blown away with the practical special effects in this film. It is. My vocabulary is way too limited to describe how impressive the practical special effects were. I need a thesaurus because I am just not educated enough to give it enough justice.
Well, after I heard from you and I saw some of the reviews, and all I saw was a big headline of all practical effects monster movie. And I'm like, that's it. I've got to see it because I'm a big monster movie guy.
Yep. And it's making its rounds on the festival run, and everybody's saying the same thing. I mean, it is something to talk about for sure. So we're going to find out all about it and all about Doug. But first, let's watch the trailer.
Here we go. Here's the trailer for it. Wow, very atmospheric. I like it.
Thanks.
Hey there, Doug.
Hey,
man of the hour.
Yeah, and it was great. We've been chatting with Doug and wanted to get him on this show, and we were planning on possibly trying to bring him here in November, but Doug was like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm currently in Florida, so if we try to get me in earlier, I don't have to go all the way back to Japan and have a Back to the Future type experience, 14-hour time difference to get him on. So we squeezed him in today to try and make things a little easier. So glad you could be with us, Doug.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So we've got comments and stuff already coming in here. We'll go ahead and bring some of them in. We got Joe. Hello, Joe. How you doing? Really a pleasure to see you in there. Tarot cards. We talked all about tarot cards in the opening. We got let's go Indie Horror Junkies. Joe again, yeah, how you doing, Joe? And then Mary. Oh, Mary, and Joe are both two of our judges for our Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest.
Cool.
So just to give them a heads up, that Bakemono is one of the selections that's been put in there. So definitely check it out. Lance cannot stop talking about this movie, so definitely take a look at it because I think you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, super impressive.
Let's get right in there. Hey, Lance, I'll go ahead and let you start it off.
Well, I mean, let's start with Doug, because obviously you are not Japanese. So where are you from, and how did you go from where you were from to where you are?
Well, I was born in Kansas City, Missouri, and I grew up in Missouri in Blue Springs, and I made my first feature in Clinton, Missouri, and I went to college down at Missouri State in Springfield. But I really loved Japanese films. So even my first feature, it's inspired by Japanese film verses. So, so I always had the dream of going to Japan and making a movie. And first I went to China and I made my second feature there. And I contacted like a production company in Tokyo, and they said it's impossible to make an indie no budget movie there. So then I was like, well, I'm definitely doing it. So I did. It's crazy. I don't know.
Now, tell me just tell me the differences, because you said you were in China and you made a film there, and then now you've made, I think you said, the last 4 in Japan. In your perspective, what are the big differences between China and Japan, and especially when it comes to being an independent filmmaker?
Well, I would say people are really interested in Japanese movies, whereas if you made a film in China, they're not really so interested, which is kind of a shame. Because there are some great films that are made in China, even in the mainland. I mean, of course, there's tons of amazing Hong Kong films, but there's still some good ones in the mainland too, like Raise the Red Lantern. But there's actually not much horror in China. There's some in Hong Kong. There's a ton in Hong Kong. Cat 3 movies, I love those. But in the mainland, there's not so much horror. So, and then they're kind of like, I don't know. Japanese society is also kind of, they don't really like horror either, but they have a great history of horror, and they have a great long history of cinema. I think the history of cinema is much longer in Japan, and they're famous for their horror. So that's one of the big differences. But I would say it's easier to make something in Japan, if that makes sense, because there's like a casting central site that you can use, like basically one website, and there's a whole bunch of people there that love horror, even though it's kind of underground. But yeah.
That's kind of interesting, since they do have such, like, when people think of Japanese horror, like that's almost like here for like me, like Japanese horror always seems like it's like the pinnacle of like what a horror film should be. And like you said, there's such a long, rich history of like cinema and horror to begin with. It's kind of odd to hear that it's more of an underground thing over there.
Yeah, unfortunately, the mainstream, normal, quote unquote, normal Japanese think that you have to be like mentally disturbed to like horror. They think if you like horror, you want to kill people, which is ridiculous, and it's a terrible stereotype. But
I don't want to kill anybody. I want to watch somebody kill somebody.
There you go.
Yeah, of course. It's a huge critical difference. But the problem is there was a case in the 80s. He was called the Otaku Murderer. And the media made a big deal of the fact that he had like some horror VHS in his room, and he murdered like a bunch of kids. It was really gruesome, and he ate them, and it was disgusting. But he's not really like, he also had anime VHS. It wasn't just horror, but the media played that up so much that there's kind of a stigma. So like, I have a friend show who loves horror, but he feels like he can't tell people because they really do think, do you want to kill people? And it's like, no, that's ridiculous.
Kind of like the US equivalent of, video games calls violence, type deal.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's insane.
How many people does Godzilla kill on a regular basis? How come that's different?
Because they don't show him stepping on thousands of people.
Yeah, they do sometimes. I've seen it.
Sometimes, but it's not very gory usually. Even though Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, there's a lot of blood. But like, you said before, you like -1. I like -1 as well, but actually, I feel like I don't like this trend of like bloodless war movies. I feel like we should show the consequences of war more. So
that's a very good point. One thing I wanted to chat about you with, because I think that we were talking a little bit about it in the chat, is that you're basically, like you said, you're kind of like a one-man gang when it comes to making films, right? You pretty much, what all do you do? I mean, because we had a company or a group here called the Addams Family. I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but they are the one-man gang. It's a father, the mother, and the kids, and all of them do everything from writing, directing, producing, editing, creating their own music. It's almost like they sit in a van down by the river and make an entire movie. And
they are the Partridge Family of horror.
Yeah, exactly. But their latest movie called Mother of Flies just won Fantasia.
It's another
which is
good
the
one.
first North American film to ever win Fantasia. So they're amazing. I mean, so talented, but they do everything themselves. So what all do you do?
I've heard a lot about them. I'm kind of an idiot, so I'm one person by myself, and I do like all these practical effects, and I'm the writer, director, producer, editor, cinematographer. I did the music on Bakemono.
Wow.
I did like really everything, and I'm the only person. It's
So you pretty much do everything except be in the movie itself.
Yeah, and sometimes I do that too, because in Bakemono, sometimes I'm the monster, sometimes I'm doubles for actors. But we had like 7 monster suit actors, but I did it a few times. The main one was actually my wife, which is crazy. I put her in the costume.
No offense, honey, but can you put this in front? Well, the Addams Family did the same thing. They star in all their movies too. So
that's cool. That's awesome.
So talk about Bakemono. What was the inspiration? I mean, aside from like trying to do like Japanese horror, what was the specific inspiration for the actual story itself?
Well, the original idea was like really simple, and it was just I want to make The Thing in Japan. But if you watch the movie, it is that, and it's not really that. It's more like Hellraiser with a monster in Japan. But I was dumb. I don't know. I just I love The Thing, so I wanted to try to do that in Japan, which is really hard because for example, I made the mask here in Florida, and then I had to take all that stuff back to Japan, and my suitcases were overweight, and it's crazy, and I have all this gelatin and stuff in there. But
Get stopped by customs.
I was just going to say, I can see him get stopped by customs all over. We're not going to hear from him anymore.
They confiscated some blood. They suck. And then they poked my gelatin mask. Like, what is this? Is this solid or is this liquid? We don't know what to do if it's not solid or liquid. So that really sucked.
So it's not solid. It's not liquid. You can't figure it out. It's in between.
Yeah. What's a paste? Anyway, yeah, they were annoying, but.
So you said you do all the special effects yourself too?
Yes.
Because you were just talking about how in Japan they definitely the horror is basically underground. It's one of those things I don't like to talk about or deal with. I can imagine somebody going to your house and seeing your workshop there or whatever it is, and you being in chains somewhere. So
yeah, my apartment in Japan is just full of I have my bloody monster mask, and I have Godzilla toys, and I have tons of monster toys and horror manga and Blu-rays, and so.
So what's the process like trying to find the like ingredients for stuff like that? It's not like you can go to a Spirit Halloween in Japan and just pick up, fake blood.
Yeah, no, I order it from America because I really like the Ben Nye. I really like that brand of blood. Am I saying that right? My mind is crap right now. But anyway, yeah, I love the American blood. Meron is a good brand too, but I like the other brand better. But yeah, sorbitol and glycerin and gelatin, you have to get them in the U.S. I mean, I could ship them to Japan, but the problem is making the molds. It's very toxic, dangerous material. You have to be outside. You can't breathe the dust. So I make them in Florida, and then I bring just the gelatin, the finished gelatin mask back to Japan. And I bring like a whole bunch of, I buy props, I make props, I modify props, all this type of stuff. So, and blood, a lot of blood.
There was a lot of blood in Bakemono.
Yeah, and liquid latex. And
so there's just not like a market over there for stuff like that, I guess, or just it's just hard to find a market.
It's hard to find. There is this FX store in Tokyo that I found now called Tempt You, which is good, and I got some stuff there, but there's so much they don't have. So yeah, I usually just ship it from America, and the shipping cost is ridiculous. I try to bring it in my suitcases, but then they're overweight, and you have to pay more money. It's a pain, but not that many people are really doing, especially practical effects monster movies in Japan. Like horror has maybe started to have a little bit of a comeback, but they're not doing monster movies because it's so hard with the effects. So
Well, like I was telling you before we got online here, we have a lot of filmmakers and stuff like that watch the show. So we like to try and get into some of the nuts and bolts. And that's one of the things I really wanted to ask you is what is that? Obviously, your first movie you said you did here in America. So I'm not sure what the film scene is like in Missouri. I know here in Florida it's thriving, and in Atlanta and stuff like that. But you were saying that especially for horror, it's all underground there in Japan. What is the film scene when you're making a movie in Japan? How difficult is it to get actors, actresses, and get locations and permitting and whatever else you need to do? How much is it different there than it would be making a movie here in the States?
Well, like in Missouri, you don't really need permits. Like I never got permits. Of course, I'm sure in like LA or New York City, you're supposed to
Oh,
have
yeah.
permits. But I always did guerrilla filming, and that's what I do in Tokyo as well. And the the latest feature, there was a few times where people asked, "Do you have permission?" It's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I have permission." No, um, but I won't stop. But yeah, so it's becoming a little bit more difficult. But yeah, I mean, it's always kind of difficult anyway.
But do they have a lot of like actors and stuff like that it's easy to pull from? Do they have
Yeah.
access to stuff like that, whether it be Facebook groups, or how do you go about doing stuff like that? Or do you pretty much just have a set group of people that you like to work with all the time?
Well, I actually made like a meetup group for Tokyo film actors, and I found some actors for Bakemono from that group. And then the main thing in Japan is there's a website called CinePU, which is Cinema Planners, and I got like some of the main actors, a really great Japanese actor, Takashi Irie, from that site, and you can find tons and tons of people on there. It's a really great site, and that's pretty much the only site in Japan. And then my newest feature, I got lucky and I met this Japanese director, Junichi Yamamoto, who directed Meatball Machine, and he helped me with some casting for my newest feature. So,
So
you know,
already starting to work on another one.
yeah, I already have the new one is shot and edited, and I'm just doing a little bit more work on it in post. It's called Subjugation, and it's crazy.
So Bakemono, I mean, you said it's not really a market for horror. They told you wouldn't be able to make a low budget indie film there. I mean, against all odds. But I mean, was there a budget for this? Like, how did you go about budgeting? I mean, I don't think there's an Indiegogo for Japan. I mean, there might be, but
Well, first I self-finance and then I crowdfund. Like my first feature, I put in my own money, 20,000 USD, into The Sky Has Fallen, and then afterwards, when it was all done, I crowdfunded, and I was able to raise 40,000, which was really nice. So I was able to make a profit that way. And then the new movie, I did the same kind of thing. First, I put my own money into it, self-financed. I saved a lot of money when I was in China because the cost of living in China is much lower than Japan. So it's really
Hmm.
nice, and you can make a lot of money there. Like I taught on the weekends while I was shooting my second feature, so I was able to save a lot. And I just lived like normal Chinese, so not in a rich place or anything, just a normal apartment. And then yeah, so pretty much. And then I crowdfund anyway. So I self-finance Bakemono and then I crowdfund it. And yeah, you can crowdfund movies that are made in Japan on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. There's also a Japanese website, but I never use that one. There's a few now, actually, Japanese crowdfunding, but I don't use those. I heard they're a pain and not really worth it. So
interesting. So what's a distribution like with something like that? I mean, are you self-distributing, or is there like distribution companies to work with over there for stuff like this?
there are some distribution companies like in Japan. I think it's harder as a foreigner. Um,
I was gonna say,
so
you're a foreigner. It's hard. You got a lot working against you.
yeah, you do actually. So like there's a German distributor I got for Bakemono, and they're gonna release it in Germany, which is really cool in a media book. And then I'm probably going to do a screening next year at this kind of horror theater in Shinjuku called Cinemart. I think we're gonna just pay to do that ourselves and sell Blu-rays afterwards and stuff like that because there is like a horror scene. Especially there's this really great horror store in Tokyo called Video Markets, and it's one of a kind. It's not a chain. It's just one unique store. But the guy really supports like indie films, and like I sold my first feature, The Sky's Fallen, there on DVD, and he sells tons of movies there from around the world. And so anyway, yeah, distribution is really hard. I tend to self-distribute because Problem is, a lot of distributors just rip off indie filmmakers, and you don't get any money from it, and that's.
Been hearing that a lot the last few weeks.
A lot.
Yeah, it's really true. I mean, there's a lot of really bad ones out there. So unless you get paid money, especially if you get money up front, like I talked to, do you guys know this film, End of the Line? It's directed by Morris Devereaux. He also did Slashers and Blood Symbol. He's a really great Lady of the Lake. He's a really great independent filmmaker in Canada. And I did this interview with him, and he was telling me, yeah, everybody just gets screwed over by the distributors, even really big ones that you think are legit. They just rip you off, and it sucks.
So do you try and work for an MG up front, or?
Yeah, really. Well, what he told me is if you don't get an MG up front, you won't get anything, which is what I've heard again and again. So with the German distributor, I got paid, which is really nice. And it wasn't a ton, but it was still good. And I've been looking for a U.S. distributor, but yeah, I don't know. So far,
I
no
think
luck.
I can help there.
Really? Is it a good one?
Well, I had heard all the stories that you had heard before. Believe me, I know a lot of other filmmakers. They told me the same thing. Everybody's a crook if you don't get an MG up front, but nobody gives out MGs anymore unless you have a name attached or something major, whether it's a bunch of film festival awards or anything like that. They're not going to give you an MG. So the chances of getting paid are almost ridiculous. I keep hearing stories all the time from filmmakers saying that I've got this film here. They're telling me it's being seen, it's making money, but then when I get my list, whatever it is, or the report and everything, and they're telling me that everything is zeroing out because of all this stuff. So yeah, but I have come into meeting up with a company called Bayview. Bayview Entertainment is a company that I had interviewed a couple different people. They were one of them that I had actually talked to, and I just really felt a good vibe with them. They're very communicative. You reach out to them, you call them, you email them, they respond quickly. And the bottom line is that I've been getting my reports. I've been showing that it's making money, and I've been getting a check, and the checks have cashed. So that's always good. So that's definitely somebody that if you want, I've got a connection there. I'll put you in touch and make it happen for you.
That's cool. I know unfortunately, I know another filmmaker who used Bayview, and yeah.
Mixed reviews.
But that German distributor, they did actually pay, and it was several $1,000s, which is nice. So they're legit. They're good. But
yeah, we can definitely talk offline. But I mean, that's something I love to hear things like that, because as a filmmaker myself and going to film festivals, I'm constantly talking to filmmakers. They're always asking me about what can I do, and I've got these movies here, and do you have any advice or whatever? So I love to try and be able to either connect the dots or warn them about certain things and things like that. So that's always stuff that I definitely look forward to hearing about. So, but it is a sad story, like you said. I mean, that's pretty much 90%, if not more, of the stories that I hear is stuff like that they're crooks and they're taking their money, and everybody's going the self-distribution route now, or at least looking at like, but it is what it is. But also, Bakemono is going to be in the upcoming issue number 20 of Indie Horror Junkie. Here's a little glance. There you go.
Thank you.
Of the article that we put together for it that you'll see in issue number 20. So definitely it'll give you all the inside info and stuff like that. So just wanted to show that. But since I've showed that picture, we have a couple of other pictures here I'd like to bring up so you can kind of let us know what's happening with those. Okay? First up is my favorite. What is going on here?
Yeah, this girl's being attacked by the monster, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. All right, we won't have you give anything away because I want people to see the movie. So, but that is just that's one of those pictures that just seems to grab you.
Oh, thanks.
And I'm assuming this is the monster here.
Yes, the monster, it changes form throughout the movie, so its face always looks a bit different, and it's fun because when people try to describe the monster in reviews and stuff, they can never really describe it. It's kind of literally Lovecraft unspeakable because it's always different, which is cool. I love that.
So who's in that suit? You or your wife?
That's actually my wife, which is funny because she's actually, this will spoil it for people, I shouldn't tell you, but she's a short Japanese girl, but I always make her look taller using different tricks and stuff. But yeah, pretty much all the shots that look really awesome, she's in the costume. So it's
nice.
Funny.
All right, then we got this here.
Yeah, these are all the gelatin masks that I made, and those are the ultra cal molds. So, and then, these have to be painted and blood applied and all this type of stuff, but that's kind of the raw gelatin.
Wow. Very cool. Okay, we have this. Who's in this picture?
Well, you got Stupid Me, and then there's, let's see, These are two actors that are in this. Oh gosh, I can't say what scene because I'll spoil the movie. But
No, don't spoil the movie.
they're in a really important scene in the film, and then I don't want to give anything away, but like one of the actors is a main actor, and then the other two are, yeah, they.
Stuff
Anyway,
happens.
yeah, stuff happens. That's very shocking. It's one of the most disturbing scenes in the movie. So it's funny to see him happy and smiling here.
Well, there wasn't much smiling going on in the actual movie.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
true.
no. All right, who's all in there, and what's we got going on here?
So this is a scene with the German model. Her character's Emilia, and she's dating this Japanese guy, and it's kind of showing this film also it shows the foreigners in Tokyo, which you usually never see in Japanese movies, and it kind of shows like the relationship issues you get into, like with foreign girls in Japan, they have to be really aggressive towards Japanese guys because the Japanese guys can be shy. It's weird. They're either shy or they're like trying to attack you. But anyway, so these are the people in that scene. On the far left is mommy, and she helped with like translating, but my wife also helped. But and then yeah, just two other actors that are in that scene. And this was shot outside at Nakano Station on this long walkway, Nakano Broadway. And some Japanese guy came over to tell me that the German model is not pretty. Some old Japanese guy. And I was like, all right, thanks, buddy. No one cares about your stupid opinion because everybody likes her. So,
Which one's the Japanese model? Just
the German model, she's the white girl.
Oh,
But,
okay.
But yeah, it's funny. Everybody says that she's pretty, but some old Japanese guy he said, she's not that pretty. It's like, who cares what you think?
Exactly. Move along. Move along.
He's just biased. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. Old Japanese people are strange sometimes. But anyway.
So, did you have any problems shooting in areas like that, public areas like that?
No, actually, you would think we would, but yeah, on Bakemono, nobody came over and said, "Do you have permission?" ever on Bakemono. On my new film, Subjugation, it happened like 3 or 4 times. But no, we filmed at the station there, and we're on a busy street, but it wasn't so busy at that time. It was like 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. And then we also filmed at another station, Koenji Station, where there's like a police box really close by, and we were walking backwards, and I have that big steady rig there, Airy Maxima, and but actually some Japanese just followed us in one shot. They ruined the shot, but they thought we were like part of some reality TV show or something for Netflix. We're not, but
doing something much different.
Yes.
Yeah, they have no clue. But I didn't film like on Bakemono. I didn't really film any bloody stuff outside. On my new film, I did, but so anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff in Bakemono seems to happen in one centralized, like an apartment. Like, is it just one apartment?
Yeah, it's just one apartment. It's an Airbnb, or as the Japanese call it, a minpaku. But we do go outside quite a bit. Like you see the stations and the bridge and stuff like this. Anyway.
Very cool. Now, this is obviously a short film, and it's currently, obviously, from what I've seen and from what I've been hearing on Facebook, it's been winning quite a few awards and involved in a lot of different film festivals. So is it pretty much nearing the end of its festival run, or do you still have a bunch of festivals that it's going to be hitting? And once that's done, what's the plan for it then?
There's still some festivals left. It's a feature. It's an hour and 1 minute. So it's not a short.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Even
it won
better.
Best Feature at the Spooky Empire Film Festival.
Oh,
That
nice.
that was the one here in Florida?
Yeah, yep.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it still has some more festivals left. It's won like 3 special effects awards. It's still got some more left. I'm still submitting it. So, but yeah.
Well, we know it's submitted to Indie Horror Junkie.
Yay!
And I'll be watching it tonight, as a matter of fact. And I'm sure our good friend Mary, who's one of our judges, loves that kind of stuff. So now that she knows it's there, I'll show you.
That's hilarious, because Mary doesn't strike me as that type of person.
Oh, Mary's hardcore.
Really cool.
So absolutely. So now with this one here, is this something that you think may spawn a sequel, or is it pretty much just like a contained situation and then you're on to something else?
I don't know. I probably won't do a sequel. It's kind of like I could do a sequel, but I kind of like original, unique films, and So with this movie, it's also, I should say, it's really kind of about the dark side of Tokyo, and that's kind of what the monster represents, and that's what all these different characters kind of their stories. It all circles back to like the ugly underbelly of Tokyo. So like cheating is really common in Japan. I didn't know that before I went to Japan. I was a little shocked to find that out. It's like it's much higher than America or China. It's around like the level of like France, which is crazy. My wife read a book on it. And then they also have like the hostess culture, and gender roles are a real big problem in Japan. They're kind of very sexist. Like one of the characters in the movie, one of the main characters, he's kind of pissed off and angry because he's below his wife. She has the power in the relationship, so he wants to get that power. So anyway, so it's kind of all about these social problems in Japan. Like kind of like Godzilla, I wanted the monster to be like a metaphor. It's a real monster too, of course, but yeah. Just trying to give it a deeper meaning.
Makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
I'm dyslexic really bad, so the stuff that I had to read, some of it probably got lost on me.
Well, no worries.
So what's the new one about?
Let's see. Well, the new one is it's about the stalking problem in Japan, which has been increasing for the last 10 years. And 2024 was the highest number of people arrested for stalking ever. And the problem is the girls, like they go to the police for help, but the police don't do anything, and then they get murdered. And this has been happening a lot. So the next movie's a female revenge movie. It's sci-fi horror. It's another all practical effects monster movie. But whereas Bakemono is like out of order, kind of like a Memento and following, it's completely out of order. The new movie is chronological, and it's also shorter. The new movie is only like 70 minutes, whereas Bakemono was 101 minutes. So anyway, yeah.
Interesting. And the latest one, the subjugation, you said that's already completely done. It's you're just waiting on a little bit here before you're ready to put that out?
It's not. It's in post. It's almost done. Okay. Like I had a little private cast screening, but I'm still working on the post a little bit more, just some editing things, and then I'll start submitting that one to festivals too. So.
Interesting. Okay. So it's weird to hear all of these obscure problems in Japan, the stalking, the cheating, and because everybody has like this, at least here, everybody has this like grand illusion of like how amazing Japan is. Which, I mean, you've been living there for 8 years, so it must be pretty good. It's just weird these issues.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it is amazing, and I like it better than America, honestly. But it's just that, when I'm making a horror movie, it can't be all positive. It has to be kind of about the dark side. And like, for example, Takashi Miike, he was saying that it used to be in Shinjuku, which is one of the main areas in Tokyo. You could see all the bad stuff, but now the bad stuff is kind of hidden. It's there, but you don't really know what's going on. So he thinks that's a lot more scarier. And I also think that like this ugly underbelly, especially for a society that, we have this image of it being like so clean and people are so respectful and they're so proper. And it's like, but what is really going on there? That's what's just really interesting to me. And there is a lot of kind of like a lot of stuff underneath the surface. So that's kind of my movie's kind of Bakemono is kind of about exploring that darkness in lots of ways. That's why the cinematography is kind of dark sometimes, because I'm going into the darkness and I want to show what's really there underneath it.
What kind of camera do you use?
I used the Red Epic Dragon. It was the same kind of camera that they used on Gone Girl and The Martian and 10 Cloverfield Lane. So it's a nice camera. It's old now, but it's still, it's great. It works well. I used it on my new film too. So,
I mean, you say it's old, and I'm like, can't even tell. Like the production quality of Bakemono. I mean, like from the word go, you're like, oh, this looks really good.
Oh, thanks.
A lot of that can be done also in post. What do you edit with?
Premiere, which sucks.
Premiere, okay, because I've got people that are Premiere or Final Cut, but I mean, I use DaVinci myself. I really like DaVinci.
Yeah, you're smart. I use DaVinci for some things. Before I used Final Cut for this other feature that I edited, and before that I used Sony Vegas, but before that I used Premiere. Anyway, now I'm using Premiere. It's got problems, but all these editing programs, when you try to edit a feature, they usually break down and have some issues. But anyway, that's another issue.
What is your favorite part about the filmmaking process? Is it the writing? Is it the directing? Is it the producing? Or what is it that you enjoy the most?
I love being on set with the actors. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that. I kind of hate editing. Like I've edited now it'd be 5 features, which is insane. Because I edited this other feature that I was just the editor on that movie. I was hired to edit, and so yeah, I love being on set because actually working with other people and collaborating and trying to get like a great performance and doing the special effects. The special effects are really challenging and difficult, but I love that too because it's problem solving, and yeah, I just love that. I love being on set. I love the blood and everything, even though cleaning up takes forever.
Cleaning up has got to be the worst part. Yeah, yeah. But I totally agree with you. Just being on set and working with everybody and seeing the performances. And even though I've been making movies for many, many years, I always tell people that every time I'm on set and I'm watching the movie come to life, I still get like goosebumps or whatever it is, seeing actors delivering lines that I came up with and that I wrote. Or that's just a special feeling that you can't get with anything else. And I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I agree. No, that's the best.
Very cool. So obviously, like you said, you still got the film, and that's the thing too with the film festival circuit. Because like with our last short film, The Turning, we did that last year. We submitted it to a bunch of film festivals, and there's still 3 or 4 that we haven't heard from yet that are going to be coming up. So it's a very long process of sitting around and waiting. Do you go to many of the film festivals that
I
you
did.
mentioned?
I did. I went to some. My first feature, I didn't go to so many. I only went to one actually, which was the Freak Show Horror Film Festival. But
Right.
my first feature won there, which was crazy. We didn't think it was going to win at all. Me and my brother left. We thought we're not going to win anything, but then we won.
They announce it at the end. They're like, he was just here.
It won Best Feature, and we thought there's no way we're going to win anything. But it was funny. So Bakemono, I went to Germany actually because it showed at the Japan Film Fest Hamburg, and that was amazing. That was really cool, and it actually won an award there, which was insane. And I was on the stage with all these Japanese directors, and they all looked at me like, "What the hell are you doing here?"
Exactly.
Well, that was going to be a question, like, because I mean, clearly you're American doing all this stuff in Japan. I mean, is like the industry kind of like give you a hard time, a slight eye, if you will?
I kind of think so because I tried to get into some Japanese festivals and no luck, but I got into a lot of international festivals. So I don't know. It just depends. Like I met Junichi Yamamoto and Shinichi Fukuzawa, and they're both super nice and supportive. But I think most Japanese in Tokyo too, people are very competitive and cold. A lot of Japanese, unfortunately, can be kind of cold. Um, so yeah, I don't know how they feel about, of course, a foreigner coming to their country and making movies there. But I'm only doing it because I love Japanese films and I want to. And nobody's doing these practical effects monster movies, so it's not like I'm.
I mean, you're not stepping on anybody, right? You're not stepping on anybody's toes or anything. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, are the actors surprised when they show up and they see like it's a white guy from America?
I mean, they know that when they come in for the audition, but sometimes, yeah, some of the people, they have an attitude and sometimes they're jerks, and it's like, well, I'm not going to work with you. So
Yeah. Yes, sir. We do have a really good question that came through here I want to get and bring up on screen. This is from Tarot Cards. How is horror fandom in Japan? Are there horror conventions and festivals? I think you touched on a little bit of that. But how is the horror fandom? Because that's the one thing that's really big here in the States, but the fandom and the different conventions you go to and how much people support it. How is that like in Japan?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no horror conventions. There is a horror festival. I'm helping with it and stuff, but there's not really like a lot of horror festivals, and there are no conventions. There should be, but there aren't. And yeah, it's nowhere like the US. I mean, the US is amazing, all these horror conventions, and the horror fans are so nice, and it's incredible. And you can meet people. Like I met Joe Lynch at Spooky Empire, and then I was on the podcast with Joe Lynch and Adam Green, and they're super nice. They're really genuine and great guys. It's not like that in Japan. It's kind of, like I said, unfortunately it's kind of underground. Like you meet people and you connect, and a lot of people are based around Video Market, but it's not easy, unfortunately. There's like a Dead Spirit flea market, which is for like fans of Japanese horror VHS. So I go to that, and I'm the only foreigner that goes to that, and it's super fun, but it's super niche. So yeah.
Wow, I like that. I don't like that. I mean, but that I like that that festival you just talked about. That sounds. Where is that at? You said it's at.
That's also in Tokyo.
In Tokyo.
It's last time it was in Koenji. I collect Japanese horror VHS. Like I love Gazoo. I have that in my closet. Gazoo is like a Japanese practical effects monster movie from 1986. Kind of like The Thing in Japan, kind of like what I made, but it's only 40 minutes though. It's also on YouTube, but it's only on VHS. I love. There's a bunch of like practical effects Japanese horror monster movies. Kantan, Gazoo, Cyclops, Biotherapy, Gakidama. They're really great. They're from the mid 80s. So
that's wild.
How's physical media up there? Because everybody's saying it's dying here because of streaming and stuff, but you're just talking about VHS and stuff. Is it still pretty rampant up there, or pretty much the same?
I mean, it's kind of similar. There's more. I think there's still more physical media, but like the VHS is kind of rare. But yeah, unfortunately, streaming is. I hate streaming. It's not good for. It's not good for filmmakers. You know, it's a race to the bottom. Actually, they were talking about the economics in like the Wall Street Journal or something. But so yeah, no, yeah, it's kind of there are video stores. They still have video stores where you can rent movies like Staya, but they're starting to really die out. There was this great Staya in Shibuya where they had so many VHS. It was incredible, but now it's been renovated and they're all gone. I took photos, millions of photos before they got rid of it, but yeah, it sucks.
I don't think physical media is going to go anywhere, especially when it comes to indie films, because that's pretty much our bread and butter. Every film festival you do or convention you do, and you set up your table, you got your DVDs, your Blu-rays, your VHSs all lined up there, and that's what you do. So I don't think it's, to me, it's kind of like what they said what's going to happen to albums when CDs came out. Albums were going to disappear, but then it's like just a couple of years ago, I think they said albums outsold CDs. I think that nostalgia factor and everything else will keep it alive. So
I was walking through Walmart the other day, and it's like whole album section, and I'm like, to think I used to have a record player in my house, you know. And
and now they're bringing up stuff with the different streaming services, how sometimes like movies like Lord of the Rings and stuff is no longer on streaming. So unless you have
Brain Dead, Dead Alive, it's not on any streaming, you know.
I know. And then you always see stuff like when you go on Netflix or whatever it is, watch this before it goes away. So I think people are going to start catching on that. Obviously, if you've got it on Blu-ray or DVD, you can pop it in whenever you want. So,
well, and I love the special features. So I really love physical media. You know, it's the best.
Yeah, like there's a filmmaker named Robert Rodriguez. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Yeah, of course.
I used to love getting his DVDs because he had that 10-minute film school on the things.
And cooking school too.
That is great. Yeah. And they always pack it with extras. I mean, that's like my Nightmare collection, my first Nightmare collection. That DVD is jam-packed with extras behind the scenes and stuff.
I can attest to that.
I like that because you might go in there and see a movie and you've never really heard of it. It looks kind of cool and this and that. But then when you look at the back and you see all the special features, it's like value, you know? So I'll take it and give it a shot just because it's loaded. So to me, I think that's important.
Yeah, I love that to death. I mean, you can learn so much as a filmmaker from those making of documentaries. So.
Now, you said Bakemono is out on physical media, right? Or is it going to be?
Yeah, I'm selling the Blu-rays through my website and through Indiegogo and Kickstarter. And I have a ton of special features on there. I have like step-by-step mask making and prosthetic stuff. I've got everything. You can see me as an idiot making stuff.
Well, I'm going to definitely let my friends who are special effects artists know that they need to pick up that DVD just to see how you made all that stuff happen.
Oh, thanks.
It's crazy. It's just insane. Like,
all right. I'll watch it tonight. I promise, Lance. Come on now. Show me some slack here. So, are you a big, monster movie fan? Is that something that you've always wanted to do, or is it just something that just kind of came along at the right time or something for you?
No, I love monster movies. Like the first film that I saw, maybe not the first film, but like the most important film I saw as a kid was Aliens, and I was maybe like 6 years old, and I did the horrible sin of watching the second one first, but I didn't know, and but I just loved it to death. I wasn't scared or anything. I just thought the aliens were cool. I had a dream where I was in an alien hive, but I was like super happy. So I love monster movies, especially no budget monster movies, because if you're trying to make like a monster for no money, that's one of the hardest things in the world. So I love that to death. I even love the quote unquote bad ones like The Abomination and Slithus and all kinds of stuff like this. So
Yeah.
Lamageddon.
Yeah.
Well, there was one Asian horror movie that came out quite a bit. I think it might have been, I'm not sure what it was, whether it was, I don't think it was Japanese, but it was a movie called The Host. Did you ever see that one?
Oh, yeah, of course. That's a great one.
Love
That's got a
movie.
CG monster, but it's still really good.
It looked really good. And also, but to me, that movie wasn't good just because of the monster. The characters and stuff, the family and the comedic stuff. And I love that movie. And they kept teasing that there was going to be a sequel. They even had a little teaser that came out for a sequel. They showed with the creature on the road and jumping on this van. You can see it on YouTube, and it looks really good. But it never went. I don't know if the funding fell through or whatever for it, but it's been years, and I would have loved to have seen a sequel to that movie.
Yeah, that's weird. That's surprising because it seemed very successful, and that's a great movie. So
yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out. So, all right. So when are we going to see another? I think you said you're already making another monster movie, right?
Yeah, the new one, Subjugation, and then I'm gonna film another new one in February. I'm gonna start shooting another new one, which of course will be a monster movie. But yeah.
Okay. So since you're a one-man gang and you're doing it all yourself and everything, give us an idea of what the timelines are for you, because like we did my film The Clock, and I really bit off more than I could chew with that thing, but we managed to pull it off. But we were able to film that in 5 days and then get that edited and out the door pretty much, within a month or two after that or whatever. But like I said, since you are basically all self-contained, you do everything yourself, what kind of processes do you have in place, and what kind of like timelines do you set for yourself for your movies, or are they all different?
Well, they're kind of all different. How long was The Clock?
The Clock was about 70 minutes.
70 minutes? 70? Mm-hmm. Wow. And you did that in 5 days? That's amazing. Holy shit.
Yeah, well, I talked to people, and I've been making shorts for many, many years, and they finally told me that, hey, if you want to make money, you got to make a feature. So the idea basically is to have a budget of around $5,000, have 1 or 2 characters, 1 or 2 locations, and shoot it in 5 days. So I wrote a script that had 32 characters, 9 locations, but we shot it in 5 days for that budget. So it worked out, but it's not something that I would want to do again, because we called in a lot of favors for that one. So.
And you edited in a month? You had another editor? You didn't edit yourself?
Oh, no, I didn't edit myself. No, I had another editor who's in his policies. I know, yeah. I edited little bits and pieces here for another film that we did, and I enjoy that part of it, but it's not something that I can't see myself editing a feature. There's so much involved, and it's just so time-consuming. And
it's so hard. Like I mean, I loved it on my first feature, but after, I've done 5 features editing, and it's tough. But on Bakemono, let's see. I filmed for over 80 days. So it was several months because it has so many practical effects. And then in that film, I had different groups of actors, and I was the only person who did 80 days. So each group might do 12 days or 7 days or 8 days.
That makes sense.
And then I did 80, and I did many effects days by myself, just fucking with the material, trying to get these effect shots and make them look good. And editing took, I think, about a year or maybe year and a half, which was too long, but it was shorter than the amount of time I spent on my first feature, which was maybe 2 or 3 years, which is way, way too long. And then my new feature, my latest feature, I wanted to get much, much faster. So I shot the film, I don't know, I think 50 days is what we did. Some days by myself. The main actress did 28 days or something, or 24 days. And then some effects days by myself, some days with other people. And then the editing, I edited it in basically 4 months. And I have some more work to do, so maybe it'll be 5 or 6 months in the end. But I tried to get the time down really, really fast, which was hard. But it's also shorter than Bakemono, so it's a little easier. And I edited while I was filming too. Anyway, don't do that. Wow. It's terrible. Don't do any of this.
So you shot and just edited as you go.
Yeah. It was a nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, situations like that, it's always different for each person, but that's why I was curious with yours, because you handle pretty much every aspect of the film. So that you know pretty much what you're going to have to do and get it done. But I've heard of other filmmakers. One filmmaker, I think his name is Dustin Ferguson.
Oh, yeah.
You've heard of him?
Yeah.
I'm Facebook friends with him, and this guy, I think he's nearing 200 feature films that he's done.
Yeah, I think he's got the Guinness World Record for the number of features. And I also know Dustin Wade Mills. He does a lot of stuff himself. There's a lot of cool indie guys that are just one-man armies. It's amazing. Yep. But I mean, you're smart. If I could, I would find an editor. I was trying to find an editor for the new one, but I just realized like I have the most experience of these people that I meet, and then I know like kind of how to edit it and how to put it together. And anyway, yeah, but it's tough. I wish I could find somebody who is as crazy as I am to collaborate with, but it's hard to find.
Unfortunately, we're all over here in Florida.
Well, yeah, with the internet and stuff like that, you can outsource stuff like that, you know?
Well, it's hard because like transferring the footage online, the files are so big, especially like Red 6K. And like I met this great guy at the horror convention at Spooky Empire, Devin, and actually I met him outside the AMC theaters. We were both wearing horror shirts, and he was so awesome. But then he joined the Navy, which is it's cool for him, but it was a shame because I wanted him to like edit my movie, but I realized I probably had to do it myself anyway because there's just so much stuff, and you know, it's tough. Like I don't use any CGI; it's all practical. But of course, sometimes like wire removal and things like this. Like there's there's an effect shot in Bakemono where this thing on the ground is moving, but there's nothing around it. Like that's because I was in the shot moving it, and then I took myself out. So I do like little touch ups like that, but no CGI. Like I hate CG monsters. I hate CG blood. So anyway.
No, I don't blame you. Practical is always the best way to go. I mean,
Yeah.
me and Rick have been talking about that with a lot of the guests for the past few weeks, just how it seems it's almost like a lost art with mainstream studios, you know, but then there's people like you that like just completely knock it out of the water. And it's like, why are we not doing this on the mainstream?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that the CGI is, I mean, it's definitely not any better. I can't imagine it's any cheaper.
It's actually not cheaper. Like Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr., they were talking about it because they did, you know, the Thing prequel, and it was going to be almost all practical with a little bit of CGI for like some enhancements or some things for like the arms, things that they couldn't really do quite practically. But then at the last minute, the studio pasted over it with CGI. But anyway, they did comparisons, and actually practical is cheaper, but you know the studios are stupid, and like on the Thing prequel they wanted tax incentives, so that's why they pasted over everything with CGI, because they could have another country, they could have these CG artists put all these crappy CG, and it's so stupid.
That makes sense. It's bad, but that does make sense.
This is why I don't watch anything mainstream anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I have a really hard time too. I mean, I like the Terrifier films because he does like all practical effects, but
yeah, they're insane too.
Damien is nuts.
Yeah, he's awesome. Have you guys had him on here? He's so cool.
We haven't had him on here yet, but we've had some of the other people. And when we met Michael Levy, who was one of the producers of us,
very cool guy,
nice. Great guy. We had him at our film festival, and we actually were a part of their festival, Scaricon, running their film festival up there. So they're great guys. But I mean, Terrifier just took things to a whole different level, especially with part 2 and part 3. Part 3, it was just off the chain. So.
Yeah, I really love part 2. That was so awesome.
Yeah, the second one's been my favorite so far.
Yeah, me too. I wish I like 3, but I just wish they had nudity. I wish they had like. Sorry, you don't want me to go on.
Always wish they have nudity.
Yes.
Yeah, they should have had nudity, and then like they kill kids, but they're off screen, and it's like, come on, man. John Carpenter in Assault on Precinct 13 killed a little girl on screen in the 70s. Why are we? This is supposed to be the extreme. I'm sorry, I'm nuts, but
everybody frowns on that stuff now. So. I don't understand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know where you're going, and now part 4 is going to come out. So I'm really curious because they said they're going to go back and start digging into Art's history and where he came from and everything like that. It's just going to be interesting.
Yeah. I hope it's good. I like those films, but yeah, I love number 2 the best, and I wish there was nudity. I wish they kept the extreme. I mean, they had really cool gore in 3, but I also didn't like they sidelined the protagonist. She's just kind of tortured in a chair for too long, you know. Anyway, I got some qualms. I'm sorry. I love the movies. Damien Leone is awesome. So
Damien Leone is a beast, absolutely. All right. Well, we're nearing the end here. So why don't you let people know where they can find you? How's the best way to reach out to you and where they can find you and your films and everything?
They can go to allpracticalfx.com, or I'm on X, Twitter, Blood on the Blade. I'm on Instagram, Horror Movie Director. So they can find me multiple places, anywhere they want.
All right,
yell at me, be like, "You suck, buddy."
Okay, sounds good.
Definitely not in this case.
We're going to go ahead and take you off the air here for a second so we can close the show out, but don't go anywhere yet because we want to say goodbye to you. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah,
really excited to watch your film tonight, and so happy we got John here.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, Doug. We'll talk to you in just a second.
Okay.
All right. I don't know why I thought it was a short. I thought that, I guess maybe it was, I saw the teaser first or whatever and didn't realize it, but no, I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm going to watch it tonight.
Yeah, it's a feature. It's really impressive. It really is.
Oh, just what I saw from the little bits here on the teaser, and then something else I was watching too, and then hearing all the stuff about it. I mean, I can't wait to see it. So, and like you said, it's all practical monster movie. So, what is not to like? So, all right. Well, thank you guys, everybody, for joining us tonight. We're really hoping that you enjoyed listening to Doug. We're going to go ahead and say goodbye so we can get and chat with him a little bit longer before he heads back to Japan. So, anything you want to say in closing there, Lance?
Just thanks for having me on again. I'm always happy to be here and fill in when need be. And hopefully, I'm sure people are sick of seeing my face. So hopefully Amy will be back to normal. Hey, look, I got a face for radio. I got a voice for deaf people. I don't have a whole lot going for me. So
wow. All right. You and Doug must get along really well here, All right.
I thrive in self-deprecation.
There you go. All right. Well, for everybody else, we'll see you next Wednesday.
Thank you, guys.